I just keep hearing exposure. And if this is for you, I want to tell you that you are in the reveal of a situation and that your knowing is materializing in the physical for others to finally witness. And I had a card fall out of another deck, and it says, it's the Joker card, and it says, in the silence of secrets, truth finds its voice. Justice was never delayed. It was served the second you stopped participating. And if this is for you, I want to tell you that your silence had been so deafening because you recognize that exposure happens in real time. Where others seek external validation and external justice, you recognize the mask as soon as it slipped. And that knowing, that kind of exposure is something that can never be unknown. It's not something you can forget. It's not something that you can unsee. And I just keep hearing, like, the dominoes already fell because they fell the moment you witnessed them. It was never your job to convince others of the exposure that you had witnessed, and now they're learning it for themselves. It is just a materialization, a manifestation, a becoming clear and obvious of what you have always known to be true. We have the Two of Swords. Do you see the masks? We have the Devil in reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune. There's like an impasse in the energy here that's not yours. It doesn't matter. You can't put a mask back on after somebody has recognized the presence and the proof and the truth that actually resides behind the mask. And this Devil in reverse, it's that no longer being trapped in your own mental mind games, no longer trying to discredit what you are already the proof of. You deliver justice to yourself when you let the secrets echo so loud that people started talking about them and revealing them themselves. We have the Five of Wands in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles, I love that card, and the Justice card. This Five of Wands in reverse and this Ten of Pentacles. The fight that someone else is having never had to do with you. It had to do with them. Because they cannot recognize what it is to be a mirror. Because mirrors are not just conscious mirrors, they're also subconscious mirrors. So while you were willing to take God's hand, and I mean this like as in a metaphor, you were willing to recognize how God moves through you. You were willing to reach a precipice, a culmination point, where secrets no longer needed to be proven to others because you recognized that you were the proof of exposure in real time. And when I say this domino effect, the second you stopped participating is the second the first domino fell. And do you see the blank face here? The blank face is truth. They're kneeling on the swords of truth. You can't put back on a mask that somebody has already recognized has slipped, has fallen. You see the true intentions behind energy. And because you stopped fighting the faces, you allowed the energy to speak for itself. But because you took God's hand, because you were willing to let God move, you recognized your own self-imposed limitations. And where others seek justice and external validation outside of them, you recognize that that too is rooted in ego, because you are the proof of everything that you have ever experienced. The truth that you possess as a culmination of your experiences is not something that others can rewrite. It's not something that can be covered up with lies or distortions or deceptions or betrayals or secrets. Because truth always existed behind the mask, and you recognized that. But when you're fighting the face, you're not letting the energy speak. And justice comes from letting energy move, from letting energy flow, from embodying the truth that you are and anchoring in it. Do you see how do you see this? It's like you took everything that you had and you just tossed it. You tossed every ounce, I really want to say every ounce of give a fuck that you had, and you just tossed it. Because that's the difference. Where you once battled with the mask, you're recognizing the own distortion and the own illusion that you were fighting. When they were showing you that you were always the truth. The mask was irrelevant. The mask served a purpose, but it was also what clouded your perception. You delivering justice. Because justice is an inside job. It's your Ace of Wands. It's recognizing your power, recognizing your truth, and no longer betraying yourself with the masks and secrets and opinions of others. 10 of Wands in reverse. You put it down. That's the difference. You put it down. So that impasse in the energy, that battle, that domino effect, it's other people fighting their own burdens. But when you're willing to put them down because you recognize they were never yours, you shifted. You shifted, you brought justice, you exited the situation, you left the whole paradigm. You reached that culmination point of your loop and you learned, and you exited the loop and entered the spiral. We're going to confirm with the blueprint. Page 153. That's your 9. That's your completion. As your crown chakra opens, you may not suddenly have all the answers, but you will begin to trust the unknown. You will begin to trust the unknown. You will feel steadier in the mystery, and slowly the peace that once felt so far away begins to rise within you. The peace is your justice. You realize you were never separate. You were just waiting to remember. Where to go? You were just waiting to remember that truth always existed behind the mask. The mask requires your participation. But when you were willing to trust yourself, when you were willing to let God move, let truth speak, even in your silence speaks volumes. Because you recognize that warring with words creates more karma. And your words have been returned to you more than once. But peace was your justice. And while others seek it outside of them, you recognize that external justice often creates chaos and more turmoil. You exited the loop that many still stay stuck. Love you guys.